to process as much data or record as much data as has been processed by the Hadron Collider in a year. And this microscope was the size of the planet Earth. It was a virtual scope. Well, this is a significant achievement, and this is wonderful for science. And the scripture tells us that in the end times, knowledge would be increased. But what is absolutely shocking is a statement that was made by an individual who is right now running for the European Union presidency. And this individual stated, fascinating, this is the first ever black hole image. Congratulations to all the EU-funded scientists that have played a key role in this discovery. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong in that part. But listen to the final sentence. Not even space is the limit when humans unite. Okay, we're going to repeat this again. Not even space is the limit when humans unite. Where did we see humans uniting? Well, we saw them uniting in the Tower of Babel. And look at what happened. And I've talked about the various towers of Babel that we are seeing in these end times. But this is coming from somebody who may potentially be leading the presidency of the European Union. And this person can possibly be the Antichrist. Well, Esther knows who I'm talking about because Esther figured it out. All the way over there in Texas, she figured it out. Anyway, that's what I wanted to state tonight. Is I wanted to highlight this statement because it's absolutely frightening. This type of a statement, not even space is the limit when humans unite. Where else are they uniting? They're uniting in the European Union. Where else are they uniting? But we see this whole worldview of uniting the world. Not even space is the limit when humans unite. I've got to keep repeating that, folks, because if that's not out of the pits of hell, I don't know what is. If that's not the direction that the Antichrist is going to want to go, if that's not something he would possibly state, I don't know what is. But I'm not going to mention names here. I said I would not do that. And hi, Janelle. I'm glad you're back. Pyra, you can you catch this show because unfortunately I've got another broadcast. This is number 2. I've got another broadcast, and then my final broadcast is called The Falling Away, Jesus' Command to Persevere. And I want to spend time on that broadcast. And these broadcasts are more shorter just to give you some news updates. So I'll be back on one more time. Yeah, I can take questions. Would you like to ask something about this right now? Or I can do the questions. Is there anything you would like? Yes, it actually is very interesting. It's a very interesting development. But the statement that was made by this European politician is absolutely Tower of Babel speak. I don't know what else to call it, but it's Tower of Babel speak. And that's exactly what we would expect coming from somebody who's potentially going to or is already in the leadership position within Europe. What is the Lord's wish that we can see the black hole photon? Well, we know this is all his creation. So I don't think there's anything more wonderful than God's creation. Could it be a gateway to the demonic realm? No. because we know the demonic realm is pretty much portrayed in Scripture, and we're given a good deal of information about it. It's a spiritual realm, and the demonic spirits are pretty active here on earth. So there wouldn't necessarily need to be a gateway when they're already here. But we do know that Satan is in heaven. We know that some of the principalities are chained and they will be unloosed during the tribulation. And we also know that Satan is going to be expelled from the heavens along with any demons who may possibly be with him. I'm not sure if there are demons with him in heaven, but we know he's going to be expelled, and then all will, it's going to be just horrific. Well, they have theorized what's inside, and it's all very scientific. Yes, the demonic energy is increasing, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the final broadcast, the falling away, as well as Jesus's command to persevere because of what some of you are now dealing with because of the times that we're in. Could he be expelled from the black hole? Well, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'm not sure what it's like in the heavens. We're not given that description. We know that there are thunderings and lightnings in the temple of God, and that the sound of his voice is like the sound of very powerful. But we know that with the word, the earth and everything was created, and they actually have done a study on vibrations and the effects of vibrations. It was really, kind of like voice vibrations. It was really an interesting, I wish I remembered the video that talked about that and the power of that. Stephen Hawkins, we don't know, again, it was theoretical. So we don't know what may have been accurate as far as expelling material. And again, there's the way that the universe would function, but the scripture is pretty clear on how the spiritual world functions, and this battle of the ages that is going to culminate during the tribulation period with the son of Satan at the helm of the most powerful empire that will have ever existed. So we wouldn't need that. Do you understand that there's not a significance for that? The demonic spirits are already here. And somehow they are able to be at very different places. And there's this whole parallel world that exists alongside of our world. No, I don't see any connection to the black hole with prophecy. Although there are some channels who are saying it's going into the abyss, but we see that Apollyon is chained, and he is not loosed until the midpoint at the tribulation. And then we see Apollyon fighting the two witnesses and defeating them. But it is an angel that falls from heaven and has the key that lets him loose. So with this kind of a description, it doesn't fit with anything with the black holes of some of the false teachings that are coming out. Why would it? Because as I stated last night, Friday, I stated on Monday's program that knowledge is also coming to the full, the proliferation of knowledge, as well as even within the scriptures, we have access to knowledge that we had no access to. Bible scholars, at the click of a mouse, we can do a study that we never could do before. So that's why the image is now, and also it's revealed because look at the statement that is made. This is a horrific statement. This is unbelievable. not even space is the limit when humans unite. Do you realize what that is saying? And that's where this is heading. This is all going to be used by the Antichrist. And that's a very humanist type of an idea, which is the total opposite of what is taught in the Bible. So that's really scary that it's the Antichrist who is going to use this, as well as he's going to use technology. You know, the Antichrist is going to change times and laws, and as well as honor these types of gods because it suits his purpose. And then he's going to use it for total evil. Okay, folks, that's it for questions, because I've got one more broadcast. I've got to talk about the trade war and how that's going to impact the elections that Donald Trump has just launched. And then from there, we're going to talk about the falling away and in the feel of trying to take it over. Absolutely. And we see this Tower of Babel mentality even among scientists. And some of the scientists, for being atheists, they have some of the most far-fetched beliefs that you ever want to read about. So it's kind of interesting that they're scientists and they're based on facts. And yet their beliefs, which you will find out a little bit more in my book, Decoding 666, which is also available for free on my website. So if you don't want to read the whole book and you just want to look at that chapter, just look at my Mark of the Beast page. But anyway, folks, stay tuned. I will be talking about a trade war that Donald Trump has launched and what this is going to mean. That may very well cause a geopolitical shift, but that's for the next show. So give me a few minutes. I will be back. For more on Bible prophecy, check out my website. If you don't subscribe to my channel, subscribe. And for more on the Mark of the Beast, I have a book, or you can check out the book for free on the page. Anyway, folks, God bless. Stay tuned for the next headline. And then after that is going to be a very interesting show on the falling away and Jesus's command to persevere. And I will be talking about the letter to the Church of Philadelphia. We're going to take a look at that. Okay, folks, see you in a few. Meanwhile, again, God bless.